And one game straight into the other. That's how it's gone all day. That's how it's going to go all weekend. Tatenda Mombo tagging in, having a round with us here. We got PUC versus Disconnection, mixed division. And we're ready for some wild action. The weather has been wreaking havoc in the last few games. Tatenda, how we doing? How did you get to watch a bit of that last game?
I was in the first half of the game and I saw Ranelagh were up about 7 or 8-3 and I thought, okie dokie, this is a major upset, but this has to be a game where to elite invite. All of these teams are elite, can hold. So I went off wondering and came back towards the end of the game to see the score 13-9 to Clapham. So crazy comeback train indeed.
Crazy game. We got another one in front of us, mixed division. PUC from Paris, ready to go against Disconnection, the Germans, wearing white against blue, ready to kick things off. PUC came off a loss in their first game, lost by 4 points to Maietta. They are the Paris club from the southeast, the 13th arrondissement. A few pickups from outside of Paris, but this is the team there. Everything's for WCC. That's where they're bound to go. And all of their efforts are to peak there. Grappin fires it inside and forward. Fretenier dumps back. Kaismeier, Zach, Aude, Hermont. PUC offense, first possession of the game. Grappin fakes the forehand. Gets the replacement from Fretenier. She comes under, and Zhu, the Canadian import from Vancouver, hangs on, coming under as Aude Hermont winds up for a backhand and is called for a travel.
Yeah, PUC coming out in what looks like a hybrid between a vert stack and a side stack, really isolating a large portion of the field for the handlers, well, for the cutters to be able to make big sweeping movements, and they've been able to methodically and systematically work it up, cut by cut, slice by slice. Let's see how the defense will respond.
Woo! What a catch by Fretenier. Hermont looks to wind it up and then says, no, where are you? I need something else. Gets the under and hits it right in the chops. Michael gets the reset but still on the sideline. Now play to center. Hermont, Grappin. Fakes then, fakes again. Nice around fake. Catches everybody looking. Shot to goal. That one counts. PUC score the first goal of the game and are up 1-0.
And we are off to the races with a hold. Some lovely work from PUC there, working it up open side and then a nice holster to then start working it across the break side. One fake, two fake, inside shot, and continued through the break side for the goal, for the hold. PUC really making a statement saying our offense is crisp, our offense is comfortable, and you stop us on one side, we're going to move the disc across the other side and put it down your throat.
And indeed they did that. Roger Michael, the recipient of the goal in the end there, cashing in the final prize for PUC. D-line comes out. We see Disconnection, the German side, putting their O-line on the field for the first time here. their chance to do what is the easy part. PUC defense. Natalia Bocanegra, you see first one down, wearing the mask, nose injury earlier in the season. A great looking mask, if you ask me. Does what it needs to do. She's mobile and looks pretty bad. Lamboles on the mark. Disconnection. Oh, Archer. Oh, off the hands into the turf. Didn't like the way that one came in, did Reifisch. And PUC with a chance to break.
Yeah, the French coming out with a zone and the Germans looking for a split stack, and now the French zone effective. Disc goes up from this near side into traffic, and now the Germans have a chance to hold again after retaining possession.
PUC's transition straight into their zone defense, while Disconnection tries to steady their offensive holding ship here. Second crack at the can. He looked for that blade and said, maybe not in this weather. Maybe I will not take that shot. And but they are forced to niggle through a very suffocating front of the PUC zone. Couple passes in.
Signals
nearing
deep.
Half.
He's looking for people deep, but takes the swing and holster. Now the ladies working it in the back.
And they're sticking around the same part. They haven't got too far. Lamboles chases that pull as Turk hangs on, then throws it to the sideline. Zone keeping them honest. Nover gets forward to Turk. Sideline. Frey swipes, zone tightening. Dump, only thing available. Gets the break around, and that one, you see the wind's effect on that. A simple pass made to be a little bit more difficult because of these conditions. Forster dumps back. Hag, sideline. Reifisch. Hag, front of this zone, getting aggressive, but finding completions even if they have to go backwards. Ooh, looks for the big break, and the zone backs up a bit, and there's the around. If they're patient, they'll find their holes, but being patient with pesky wind is not always the best approach to scoring.
This French zone really making the Germans work, but they seem comfortable to swing and break and swing and break. Really conservative play here. But as each pass goes on, a shot like that becomes more and more tempting. A hammer across the field, maybe slightly lower percentage chance, but you really have to risk it if you want a bit of biscuit.
That one risked indeed, and there was no reward at the end of that decision. And after a whole lot of running at the front of that zone, all over that zone, PUC get what they wanted, and that is a break chance.
Little bit of clogging there, the front of the stack. Two receivers in the same place at the same time. So they look backwards and swing across off the field. Number 77 there, the mask, grabs the disc with a slide and grab. Gets it in flow, and a run through D. And there she goes deep, stretching the field.
Disconnection going the other way. Down to her knees, and immediately the zone slows them right down. Transition defense, zones engaged, and Disconnection looks slow. Cantu has a stab at it in the middle, and Disconnection get a little bit of space. 1-2 in the handler space. They're now in attacking zone of the field. In front of the end zone, Daniel Turk, but too far in front, can't hang on while going to ground. Lena Frey watches it slip away.
That was a good strike cut up this near sideline, but I think just a few too many bodies in the way, didn't quite know the receiver, and just even with the great bid, just slips out the fingers.
And here come PUC. Dimne. Cantu. Dmitriy winds up, fires it. Defense is there, but the attacker in front reads it very, very well. Gerwig engages. Lamboles slows things down. Dmitriy coming in hot and heavy, not in still, or was he? No, which line is it? Not in. Centers. And that one way too centery, not enough catchy.
What a put for some major yardage gainer. Yardage gainer, I'm not sure that's real words, but yards gained. Unfortunately, a bit lackadaisical with the reset pass across the pitch, leading to a turnover, so it was all for naught, really.
And Disconnection trying to reconnect. 54, Lena Frey, with the name of her teammate, Pila, written on her leg, who's out with COVID, trying to put it in for her. Get it done, do a little extra with some motivation and inspiration. Here comes Disconnection. PUC zone back in full effect. Hammer that gets past two curtains of the zone. And that one off one person, off the other. Boca Negra, Cantu. One takes out the bottom, one takes out the top, and Disconnection still hand on the disc, though. It is a completion after contact. Let's have a look.
As they have a casual conversation on the ground.
No fear from Natalia Bocanegra going into that defensive play with the mask on. And though not getting the benefit of the play, making it very, very difficult to retain possession, and a chance for the static stoppage here for the defense to get back on. I assume they'll stay in their zone even in a short field here. It's been efficient. That one. Gainer, and then out in front and dropped by Forster.
Yeah, just slightly in front of her, bobbled, and that was all she wrote.
Dmitriy centering. Gerwig winds up and goes back to center. Ooh, Cantu. Toreri. Back to Cantu. He goes forward. Lamboles in the middle of play. Toreri fakes, but doesn't give. Roland, Dmitriy. Cantu got open, but the break couldn't come around. Pick called. Dmitriy up over floaty, way too floaty. Too many people, everyone. But it lands in, I know, just out past the line, but nobody's hands, so point for the defense there.
It's a bit of a hero make a pass. If one of the French had come down with it, it would have been an absolute corker of a play. That's absolute trust in your receivers, but not meant to be today, as we see a turnover, throw across the field in their own end zone, and just a little bit too far. This wind really causing both teams some problems. So now PUC going to be with the disc on the end zone line. Let's see what they can do with it.
They've actually officially dropped the AU and are just PUC nowadays. Ooh, they once were AU PUC was the name of PUC, and now just PUC.
I learn something new every day.
I don't know why, but it is officially dropped. I did hear that. Torrieri, Roland, back to Torrieri. Dmitriy, looks like the break is coming. I was just gonna say that, and then thrown away to turf by Dmitriy.
The French looking like they're setting up their zone once again.
That's surprising. Or maybe not. And the zone most certainly employed. Disconnection forced to play in their end zone, considering big throw options and getting less and less comfortable with each new error. It's only 1-0 in this game, even though we've been playing for 6 hours. Not quite. Throw up to center. Refish. Dump. Refish gets a second touch. Gives. Goes. Defense ready to set. They have switched into match defense, which we haven't seen very much of at all out of PUC in this game.
As we see some type of a call on the pitch.
And so the clouds have rolled in. It's getting darker, a little bit chilly. People putting jackets on. Wind still swirly. Is that sky going to open up? That is the question. Shot for goal, but the defense is there just enough to make him flip it over and show it to the ground.
Put just enough pressure on there to cause the turnover. I'm sure the receiver would like that one back.
Most certainly. They want every drop pass, but especially one in the end zone that they got two hands on all over like that. Dimne and PUC, the Parisian team, coming the other way. Cantu holsters the huck thought. Torrieri, Roland. Lamboulez is gone and she's wound up. She's put it. Lamboulez has got the space. Does she have the legs? Not quite, too far in front.
She saw it, she just didn't quite have the speed. I like the look. Maybe the execution could have been slightly holstered. The receiver started quite deep, but when you see someone with that much separation, sending it's always the number one option.
Sending it as well. It was a decent enough option. It gives them a chance to employ their zone with a whole lot of field behind them again. Not a bad place to be as far as defensive situations go. Out of their own end zone. That one is low, but snaggled up. And Frey with the dish. She goes deep, has a receiver. There's company there. Company makes it uncomfortable and taketh away.
Some nice blindside defense there. Gets up high and really causes problems there. That's what you need your big man for.
And gets it done there. PUC with another chance. Torrieri.
And that is a timeout called. A lot of turnovers in that point. It was a bit of a slogfest. Time has really seemed to have just evaporated around us and stuck in the slog and the depths of this point right here. So I think that's a pretty good call.
The weather is reflecting what's happening in the game or vice versa, but it's dark and stormy out here and it's dark and stormy out there. We're going to take a little break for timeout as well and be right back with you.
Pathetic fantasy.
Torrieri with the disc. PUC after a timeout. 0-1. Almost 20 minutes into this game, 1 point scored. Is this the lowest scoring game that's ever been recorded on Alti TV?
My history is in that in detail. I am yet but a student.
Wow, we got,
not a
I mean,
master.
is this the lowest scoring game that's ever been recorded 20 minutes into a game on Alti TV? Quite possibly. Quite possibly.
The defense here really stifling them and causing the turnover right on the line.
Disconnection, and that one with the sticky fingers hangs on. We finally got a second point on the board. Tatenda.
Whew. I was getting jittery for the points, and your classic turn out, I think they call it. But that was just
some might say time over.
Time over, turn out, whatever camp you're in, I accept you and I love you regardless. But that was just some fantastic defense there from the folks from Germany, really having to make PUC look at their second and third option because everything was so tightly covered, and then a pass just off the fingers in one of the most dangerous areas on the pitch leads to a quick score.
Too soon, Randall and say they don't want to hear about that loss they just gave away. But unfortunately, it's not up to them what they hear on these sidelines when they let one slip away like that. One cracking offensive battle here. PUC against Disconnection. Late game mixed division. Grappin to Frétinier. Forward, Roman. Where's he going? He takes the dump option. And that one, not the way it was supposed to fly. Disconnection. Looking to connect. Big shot. 53 winds it up and sends it. Gross. And it's sent to the ground.
That corner over there, that side of the pitch, that type of shot is an extremely difficult, high-skilled type of throw. Not impossible. Saw Yaka players earlier getting some upfield hucks that side, but it's maybe not the most advised decision to make.
We don't advise that mistake. Grappin with a laser huck. Frétinier going deep but too far in front for her and Roman. Neither one of them could get there, I think, originally intended for Frétinier.
I know the Huck and D fans out there in the Ultiverse are loving this one.
Are there fans of Huck and D? Well, it contains a Huck, so yeah, there must be. And there's a Huck the other way. We've got a Huck fest going on. That one complete. And they're setting up their end zone D. Scheidenwolf goes upfield, gets space in the corner, in the sideline. Schildenwolf gets the goal, and Disconnection up 2-1. And they put 2 goals in the game in less than 4 minutes, which is like this is like hot scoring action then compared to the first part of the game.
Yeah, well, anything's hot scoring action compared to that, and Disconnection telling them you don't need to give us 2 opportunities because we will score.
Disconnection set to pull. And they've done just that. Pole sailing. Lands and picked up off the turf. Grappin gets the under to Michael. Michael to Sue. Oh, and some heavy contact middle of the field. A disconnection player hits the turf. That's Nova. And they're still playing on the other side of the field, despite the stoppage.
4 players still playing, and the rest of them stood still. I wonder how they're going to resolve this one, because the disc is on the ground, but the stoppage was, a lot of the players had stopped earlier.
Maybe because of the contact. I'm not quite sure how this will resolve either. I don't even know. I'm not saying what I think. I don't know what I think where this goes. Do you have who do you think is going to have the disc here?
The only thing I'm certain of is that I know even less than I probably think I do.
Okay, but have a stab at it. Whose hands is this disc going to be in?
I think it's retaining in PUC's hands in terms of, it looks like the stoppage was quite a while before the throws. So I think it's going to be remaining with PUC before the turnover.
And so the foul on the disconnection player hits the ground. He was fouled probably, but it caused the stoppage and the throwaway after a foul. Interesting string of events there. Shu with the disc. PUC do indeed have it. Dump engaged. Forward throw hit. Grappin tells his tump to get out of there, and then he throws it into the well-defended space in front of Fretenier. She's on the ground and in some kind of strife.
There was a lot of contact through there. Whether or not it affected the play or the bid, that's for them to discuss. It was a greatly athletic play coming in through, putting her body on the line for the team. Whether or not it was in a legal fashion or not is to be decided. And there with the hand signals, an uncontested foul as we see, and also an injury called.
Foul, no contest, injury, replacement. Alice San Marco, the savvy veteran. Disc in, PUC on the move. Michael to Hermont. Pick called, double bicep flex.
These cutters doing a lot of work for PUC, churning up a lot of yards and then getting the under disc.
Michael puts it into play. San Marco gives a cut. Hermont gives a cut. Defense takes the swat, takes it away. Disconnection with the pickup.
What a denial.
Nothing doing over there. Ooh, and that well caught going to ground, falling away, off balance. Gade. Shot for goal. Sue's there, but she does knock it away. I thought maybe hung on to, but knocked away by Sue's step in front defense. Grappin winds up, sends deep. Michael's there in front of the defense. Tough read, but does it well enough. He is dragging on that red line. They're going to discuss how much so.
Someone's clearly been to the library recently, because he had a fantastic read on that.
Get that man an encyclopedia. He'll read it front to back, cover to cover.
And we see he's calling himself in with the arms raised, and person calling him out.
I wonder if we have another look at it.
And
it's conceded. Here it is again anyways. It's always nice to form your own opinion, see if it's the same as the way they form their opinions. Grappin sent it, jacked it. Red line's what you're looking for. Tough angle to see, but I believed he was in when I first saw that in live.
They've given it as a goal, and it stands as a goal.
So the way I see it is the way it is. That's what you're saying.
Sure. We'll go with that, if it makes you happy. If it makes you happy.
A lot makes me happy. 2-2, tie game, barn burner here. 30 minutes, 4 points.
I think I'll describe this one as a slow burner.
Yes, it replaced barn with slow. And Ali Thomas looking to score MVP points with the libations she's bringing. Ali Thomas. There is no Ali Thompson in this commentating crew, despite others' errors in the last game being mine. Disconnection. Didn't want to field that pull. Zone called. Natalia Bocanegra Gomez at the front wearing the mask, taking away extra intimidation, the sneakiness of the mask.
For you basketball fans out there, I'm getting masked LeBron type of vibes on a gender mismatched force, but she does not care at all. She's causing problems for whoever's in front of her.
LeBron mask is what the most popular one is. I swear the first to really wear the mask after an injury as far as basketball goes. Richard Hamilton, Detroit Pistons, mid-90s, I'd say 95, did his nose. They went to the championship that year, and Rip wore the mask all the way to the championship and was, I believe, finals MVP. Anyway, back to our sport. Disconnection on the field. Masks aside, discs getting chucked around in front of the end zone here. End zone set, that one into space, not quite in, but on the doorstep. Turk. Ag. Pops over to Turk, they're moving backwards. Ag. A lot of throws in front of the end zone. What a bid!
Oh, are you kidding me? That was a ridiculous play. Goal line saving. If it wasn't for that bid, it most certainly would have been a goal. And she said, no, not today. Here we go. It's swinging across the pitch and flying in like a Boeing 747 taking off the runway. Unbelievable stuff here at Bologna Invite.
Marine Roland sets her body loose and gets horizontal, gets the D, and PUC going the other way. Shot deep, Dimne behind, too far behind, no. Turns the body, reads it well on the doorstep, not in. Bocanegra cuts first, looked off. Now to Bocanegra, gets it with the LeBron/Rip Hamilton mask for the goal after a huge series of events that started with Marine Roland with the layout D in the other end.
A bid like that deserves a goal on the other end, and I love the hesitation move on the pivot. Gets down low, sends the defender, and then pops it over into open receiver. You love to see it.
Love it. So PUC, some sensationalism there. Roland getting things started. Huck the other way. 3-2, still a slow burn this one.
But we're heating up.
We are heating up. Get the marshmallows out. Time to start roasting. I could use some marshmallows and a little campfire right now. It's getting a little chilly. Legs are cold. Maybe even an Italian barbecue under the table, or just on the other side of the table, near enough. So we have one game left today. We've got this game, of course, and this is we've got lots of action coming up here. One game left to end the day. We've got 3SB against Jinx, both teams having their second appearance under our cameras. So don't go anywhere right till the end of the day here. Disconnection, down one, need a hold. Ooh, that is not going to help their case for a hold. Stone cold drop, even if it may have been at the shoelaces. San Marco, Dimne, there's a break. 4-2, PUC doubles up, and the scores are coming now. T.
They're coming in thick and fast. you could put the turnover down to just a drop, a misconnection, and PUC coming back the other way. One of the worst places to turn over in your own third. More often than not, it will lead to situations like that, 1 or 2 passes later, and you're doing the walk of shame back to your new end zone.
Hate that walk. Nobody likes that walk. It's impossible to like that walk.
Call it the walk of shame for a reason.
Shameful. That's the reason, right?
Something like that.
Julien Gabriel Tupol for les Françaises. Les Français. Non, les Françaises. Non, les Français. Les Bleus. The French. The Parisian team with their eye set on the WCC prize. That is where they want to peak. Gabriel, backhand's going to hit the ground and roll, or maybe not if it gets kicked, which it was. Disconnection. O-line's been at a few points in a row now. Forster drops it back. Hag to Forster. And they're working against this zone, and it's smacked and swatted and hits the ground.
Bubble, 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 bada bing, bada boom. What happened there? I do not know, but it ended up with a turnover.
On the ground, that disc went end over end more times than you ever want to see a disc going end over end. The wrong formation orientation. But they have the disc, so there was a foul on that play. They continue their offensive possession. Ag with the disc. Zone well and truly in place. They set up for a swing. And they go hammer, big hammer. Didn't leave the hand properly, but still a chance. No chance, says Julien Gabriel as he swats it away.
Had 2 offenders in the area and just thought, 2 of you, 1 of me, I back myself and do the job properly.
PUC looking for their break.
Stifling dump defense there.
Nothing available. Cantu thought he had to bid, but Pauline Lambolaise was there to collect the pass. Engages Roland. She can't get free. Ooh, right over her head. Almost a friendly head D there, but they get away with 1. And that one now shot for goal. Not quite, but popped in on the next pass. Gabriel and PUC get another break. They're up 3, 5-2.
The French just slicing that one in after nearly giving one of their own teammates a haircut. And a timeout has been called by Disconnection after 3 PUC scores in a row. Possibly a wise decision. Let's see how they will respond afterwards.
Looking for a reconnection in this timeout. We'll see what happens, and we'll be right back with the action.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.
after the timeout. Disconnection, looking to reconnect, as we say, get their offense clicking. Tough game to get clicking in. These conditions are inoptimal right now. The swirly, gusty winds on the turf here at Cuzb University Fields. One of the first fields in Europe to be artificial turf lined with ultimate lines, if not the first, I'm not sure.
Another first for this city in Bologna, the first university ever built in 1088.
In
AD.
the whole world?
In the whole world.
In the whole world.
Absolutely.
1088's a long time ago. I wasn't even alive. Disc goes to ground. Disconnection. Wind up. That one's sent deep, but it's way too far in front, way too much angle on it, and might have put a dent in this new AstroTurf.
No one tell Davide Mori. I don't think he'll be very happy.
I've seen Davide Mori not get happy out of how things go in Bologna before. And, you know, you don't want to mess with his stuff. Don't get parking tickets with his car, that's for sure. Here comes the attack, San Marco. In her own end. Ooh, and that one swiped from in front. One throw away, and that one throw is a goal. Miriam Forster.
Through like a Mack truck, says no, not today, and in one sweeping motion catches the D and lays it on a plate for the teammate, finding that disconnection for the score. That makes it 5-3. A real pivotal point for the Germans there, because if they didn't get that goal, it would have started to have looked rather bleak. But before I speak too much on that, we did just see in the last game Ranelagh with a 7-point lead, 6-point lead over reigning European champions Clapham, and then didn't score another point. So who knows what could happen?
Nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. However, a lead against a multi-time European championship may be the least safe, but a 6-point safe. Let's say, to that end, we're going to say this 2-point lead and what was 3 by PUC. We've seen crazier things happen just today. Much crazier.
Much crazier indeed.
You've got a lot of crazy to present for us within this game, PUC and Disconnection, to outdo the craziness of that last one. But the potential exists. PUC wind up. That one would have been in the face of the defender if he let go, and wisely didn't. Too high for Tejada, and not happy about the way that left his hand.
Disconnection coming out with a zone of their own there and it working for them. Now in a vertical stack offense, multiple cuts going. Disc looking up, high stall, just gets it off in time, into traffic, out of pickup.
Sticky fingers, shields, and then she sends it and preserves that greatness that was a sticky catch in traffic.
And balance was once again restored. But there seems to be some type of a call on the pitch, perhaps a stall out on that bailout option.
Perhaps a bailout, stall out.
I see a lot of faces on pitch perplexed just as mine as to what's occurring. What I do know is that the disc is on the ground over there, but will it be a turnover close to the end zone, or will it be a turnover around midfield?
It is a retracted stall out call by the look of those hand signals, so that is going to be a turnover. Easy to retract at that stage.
Now it really just becomes a case of field position.
Where was player with this player number 9 Shields? If it wasn't stalled out there, then the continuation goes, so it should be a turnover over here out of bounds and a disconnections disc.
Yep. or if it was a stall out, then it's still disconnection disc just
over there.
further downfield.
Either way, disconnection disc.
So the players have moved but are still discussing it. So the location of this turnover stall out call has changed, but we're still in the discussion.
It's a long discussion now. If it's a stall out, it's up here. If it's not a stall out, and did it affect is the next conversation that I know they're talking about. Did people stop? Did defenses stop? But it would be the defense that would stop, not necessarily the offense. And I don't know. No, sorry. If it goes here, it's PUC disc. It's thrown away by disconnection. So it is a big decision here. I'm all over the place in my thinking, Tatenda. If it's here, it's a stall out PUC disc. If it's there, it's an incomplete pass.
PUC disc.
PUC disc. Here, sorry, disconnection. Oh no, here would be a
Well,
stall out.
It depends if that was the stall, if the stall out's contested or not. So if it's a contested stall out, then it goes all the way back to disconnection. Now the disc is moving to the next pass along, perhaps.
So Shields, last time we saw her with the disc was when she had those sticky fingers.
Oh, there it is.
Holy moly, what is going on out there?
Maybe you folks at home have a greater grasp of what just happened, because I certainly don't. But the disc is now in play. Disconnection on the disc, trying to score and bring this game within one.
Eck dumps it back. Carson. Shields. Wind up, no give. Carson. Straight away to Shields. Eck, rather. Floaty and cleaned up in the middle of the pack by the French defender, Kaiser Mzak.
You can't put a floaty pass like that up in this type of wind. It will pop up, take a weird trajectory, and lead to a turnover just like that.
Kazimier's snack. Kazimierzak with the disc to Frétinier. Ubron. Oh! Roman can't hang on to that one. Bobbled off the chest, shot for goal. That one's floating, it's gonna stay in. Hernandez giving up on the D, and disconnection with the goal.
Peach of a pass. That one sits up, upwind. It's swirling, it's sitting, and it just sits on a shelf for the receiver to take down in stride. Nothing the defense could do about that one.
For the goal, disconnection, keeping it interesting. 4-5, down 1, and the wind continuing to present errors.
That one looked like a 5-bar connection to me.
Oh, the connection, of course. The error presented that opportunity. But there's short field opportunities that are seeming to bring the scores right now. Errors in your own end, and then a short field offense is it's kind of the way the scoring tale of this game has gone.
They call it the red zone for a reason. Danger, danger, danger.
Hot, hot, hot. (5-4), 48 minutes into action. Will we see half?
Energy levels on the sideline still quite subdued. You wouldn't think this is such a tightly contested game, but it is. There's a lot on the line right here.
Ooh, that one's low, but picked up by Frétinier. Shoot. Defended, but able to get her hands on it on the sideline near her own end still. Grappin. He winds up once, twice. Michael had gone deep. Chou went deep. Everybody goes deep when Grappin gets his hands on it, as he does again, but in a static position. Kaismarzak. Frétinier. And we got a first touch of the game. 85. Centers, Krapon goes to ground, but gets 2 hands on it. Winds up, sends a laser, too short, and the diving receiver is still a couple meters away, at least one of them.
Comes up holding his chest, maybe took a bit of a bump. That one there really just snatched at it. Maybe the receiver starting too deep, so you have to rush the throw when you see the window. That's the type of shot where you see it, you feel it, but you should probably holster it.
And so 85 for PUC, taking an injury substitution. Mario Cantu comes on the field for him.
This disconnection D-line offense coming out at a what seems like a vert stack, but an isolated person at the front of the stack very early, and the disc doesn't even look to him. They bag it deep. Number 44 chasing it down, bids, and it's just too far for him.
Bangs it the length of the field there. Why not get it out of your end? That's one way of doing it. Not quite on target, but they get a little bit of breathing space, if nothing else. Huck and hope, Huck and D.
Maybe Disconnection just really like playing defense.
Nobody can like it that much. Punishment D. They're staying in a match D, so they're not Huck and zone. There's the float, and there's the takeaway. Now they've got a short field, and this is the way the scores have been coming. Not in, but on the goal line, faked and centered, in for goal. Torben Haag with the goal. Disconnection levels the score.
What a cheeky little backhand through that gap. Fakes the flick and power position. Saw that had 2 receivers, one coming deep, one coming under into the same space, and then one swift motion brings it to the backhand side, as we see here. Looks, moves it forward. There's the fake, there's the 2 receivers, and the cheeky inside for the pop pass goal. And I believe, ladies, gentlemen, others, is 5-5 in a tied game. So after a bit of a slow start, the time immemorial point to get us to 1-0 or 1-1, should I say. Things have picked up again and we're once again balanced. Everything, the game is still waiting for someone to take it by the scruff of the neck and say, we're taking this one today. I still feel it's like us, we're blowing in the wind. You know, the game is hanging in the balance.
Hanging in the balance, waiting for that neck scruff to be taken. Let's see who's up for the taken here.
The nice deep pull lands in bounds.
Should have been caught. Crapin.
The side stack, disc on the same side as the stack. This pull leading to some real problems for the Parisians. Let's see, can pull something out and an interception on the goal line.
And
1 point score. Just the way the D-line coach would have liked them to have drawn it up. All started from that very deep pull, landing on the same side as the side stack. Only bad things could have happened there for the Parisians, and it was.
Not a good thing at all. The 1 throw score, the turnovers, whether the turnovers are coming off a deep or not, it's turnovers and short fields that is dictating the scoring pace of this game. A lot of our scores have been 15 meters or less after a turn. And Disconnection rolls one the other way. We might see a half. We might see a half in this game.
They call it the red zone for a reason.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Because that was a little bit longer than a timeout, perhaps. Take their break. PUC need to steady the ship.
The tide's really turning for the Parisians. I think that is 4 on the trot for Disconnection. Really getting on connection now. Our good friend and co-worker here, Felix Shardlow, would be loving the connections of Disconnection on pitch today, of Hex glory and fame.
Felix would be loving that. You think you're seeing some hexagonal approaches to Disconnection's manner of play here?
Not really so much the approach of play, but just the connection aspect of it.
The connection aspect of the play, which is important to Hex and every other offensive configuration. But yes, Felix would of course be loving this.
And every other just connection in humanity, really.
Yes, yes, not only just on the field. Disconnection. Lamboles screaming down the field to set the mark, which is a match defense. Up, and it's jacked right away. 2-throw offense hanging, and the defense does enough. Gabriel makes some changes route.
It was big, it was floaty, it was potentially great, it was potentially too far.
Definitely too far. Torrieri comes under. Girat. Back to Torrieri.
Potential down call here. It was a very low pickup, but it's been retracted, so it is up, and he's going to remain with possession.
Gets the under. Gabriel. Torrieri. Replacement. Lamboles turns the disc over and puts it to turf. Shot up, outside in, backhand in the end zone. Tried to get a hand on, but the layout in front made that extra difficult.
2 bidding players slightly past both of them. So at this point now, really quite a few turnovers. Let's see what PUC can do with it now. Shifting their offense to more handlers.
Torrieri winds up, sends it. Lamboles there, and that one goes up and down over the wrong shoulder. Just a bit quick to get there.
Yeah, I think that one sailed right over her head. Instinctively stuck her arms out. It bounced off the hands, but a mighty difficult throw to try and reel in.
Not an easy catch if it were to happen.
Nice work there to get out of Coffin's corner slightly. Opens up the space for that flick.
Turk. High stall count. Winds up, gives the backhand. Haag is going readjusted and comes down with it. 7 to 10 meters out, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. And the cavalry decides to let down the front line.
I'm sure he would have liked that one again. It was a great huck, great look, and great patience up until the final just execution.
Torrieri. Shot deep, hanging, defense, but Gabriel reads it best, comes back to it. Lamboles gets one by her ankles. Sees Gabriel again, but looks forward. Too much traffic in the lane going sideways. Late cut from Torrieri. Torrieri throws it away, puts it to ground, cannot get enough shape on that throw.
Now a slow reset as both teams' legs starts to get heavy. The lactic acid setting in from this long point. Who can latch onto the opportunities given by the fatigue and put their team out of the misery. Disc goes up, it's floating left, and it is just gets caught in the wind and floats away over on that left-hand side for another turnover.
All we are is discs in the wind. No? Bob Dylan. Dust. Anyways, that one gets away. Wind getting a hold of a whole bunch of these. Torrieri, Tatenda sends it, and Roland cannot hang on. They give it right back.
And I think that's a sign of the fatigue of this point setting in. It just affects what would have been a routine catch. When you're tired, everything's off the tables. What would have been a 95 to 98% option now becomes a turnover.
Into the chest, Refish. Fakes the forward, does Turk. Then goes to nobody. That one turned over again. We're in a multi-turn point here. Just for confirmation, we did have halftime. There was a timed half, was that last break. We are in the second half at 6-5 action.
Turn after turn, I'm slowly drifting away.
Turn after turn. Is that time after time, or is it turn after turn?
Oh, there it is. Got a keen ear, even with my off-key tunes.
Roland. Torrieri. Centering Bocanegra Gomez. Gets her space, gets her throw. Gerwig. Too far out in front. You hear Gerwig react unhappily. Girard can't get there.
This game very much in the balance. Still, the turns have been a matter of execution and decision making as opposed to one team forcing the other team into something that they don't like.
Disconnection with the lead and the disc. Timeout they call, timeout they get. Long point, high turn, maybe not a bad call.
As you see the hands on the knees by multiple players.
Let them talk about this one, think about how they come out. We'll do the same, be back with the action post timeout.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.tv.
One-point game, 6-5. Momentum switched over to Disconnection after they scored 5 in a row. But they're still up by 1 only, and things have slowed back down again. Disconnection sets up their O. Split-looking stack. Split-angled stack. One deep flank.
Yeah, really opening up the middle of the field, either for some handlers to work through, or large cutting channels from either side. A lot can happen from here. Not a setup I've seen too much out of a timeout, so I'm interested to see what will happen.
Wide open dump. Tordetti decides to stay in the lane, and then they go to him, and now we've got a totally reset offense that are coming out of a far-sided stack. It's almost like he wanted to call a timeout again there, but he called that last time, and it's only been 3 throws.
And the Parisians really working hard, some real tight coverage, have PUC'd Disconnection back in their own end zone, really coming out with some defensive intensity after this timeout. High stalled throws, really having to work hard to get options. Everything coming underneath from Disconnection, finally get a bit of flow, but it was looking real touch and go for a second there.
And they've moved it into the attacking half. They've shot for the end zone, but they have not shot precisely enough. That one goes to ground, leaning out of bounds most of the way there.
And as most of this game has gone, the deep throws, not that high percentage. They're working the disc really nicely, flow moving across and around to that far side. It was working really effectively for them. It got them out of their own trapped sideline all the way to 2/3 forward, and when they put it up, led to a turnover.
Here come PUC. Tordetti gives the cut to get the disc back. Bocanegra Gomez continue to Lamboles, the Revolution connection on PUC. Revolutionnaire, of course. Girard, who goes, and there's a little bit of company there, but hangs on to the disc. Roland, she had that huge layout D earlier in the first half. Let's see if she can keep things ticking for her team as Gerwig looks for an out, and Bocanegra Gomez gets the upline. She is not in, and she takes the very wise dump.
What a cut, such speed, such acceleration from the masked bandit.
Gerwig does get the upline cut there, but a pick called the masked bandit indeed there. Natalia Bocanegra Gomez. It was her birthday just the other day, so maybe she's got some birthday inspiration in this performance here.
Comes in and steals yards from you before you even realize it.
Oh, nice throw through traffic for Roland, and more traffic into Gabriel for the goal for PUC. It's tied up 6 apiece. We would normally be getting excited about Galaxy Point, but we're already in the second half.
As we alluded to earlier, a bit of a slow burn, that one. Well, this game. And what I'm really seeing and noticing, the deep game isn't really working that well for either team. The short game has been generating flow, been generating offensive movements, been moving the defense around left, right and center. And just there, the short game generated a goal for the Parisians. So that might be something for the keenly aware coaches on the sidelines to take note of. We are once again tied at 6-6. So the game once again hangs in the balance for either team to grab it by the scruff of the neck and say, we are going to win this one, not you.
And just since I've got my finger on the pulse of some ultimate happening in France right now, the 2 teams in the open division having a combined training camp and exhibition match is no good. Did come on top of Czech in that match and won 15-12 in today's game, so I'm happy to hear it. Can't wait to hear more about that one. But back to the action here. Disconnection with the disc, looking to crack back ahead. PUC, of course, looking to ruin those plans, see if their zone D can generate once again. Forster almost got it back. It hit her hand, but it was not rotating properly, and it goes to ground.
I think she felt the pressure of the masked bandit coming in through there, had a teasing bid, didn't get a touch on it, but did enough to generate the turnover. Disc goes up, far side, he's running, he bids it, it's just too far. So Disconnection have a second bite at the apple.
Second bite of the apple, indeed. They get that disc back. And it's Forster. And violation called. She puts her hands up in the V shape, her arms indeed, with those hands. And that violation must have been tap-in violation. Not quite sure what the violation is. Discussion continues. Cantu and Forster. Disc space or fast count as we consult the rest of the crew here. Captains and translators going to see if they can help out. It's been 12 minutes now, this discussion.
Why play Frisbee when we can stand around and have a chit-chat?
There's a lot about a good chit-chat. I mean, who doesn't like a good old-fashioned chit-chat? But we might have time for this after the game. It's possible.
That would be too sensible. Got the disc back in play now.
Disconnection. Everybody is happy on the sidelines. There's reasons to smile even with the skies going gray here. Disconnection. Hammer, that is a reason to smile. Love a crossfield hammer. And zones, they just hate them. They break them wide open. Now we've got the swing. Disconnection. Feeling it. Doing the bull dance. Gets the upfield. Torben Og, and then it hits the ground. PUC. Cantu wants to get things going. He does. He picks it up and throws forward. Bocanegra Gomez sends up and around. Frétinier goes central. Ubron. That one to Lamboles. Not in, but the continuation to Dmitriy is. But there's a double arm flex, and a pick is called, and they're not allowed to celebrate.
That one there, the cutter working real hard, came across, starting in the handler position, around the back and follows the disc and is there for the continuation at the end. But suspiciously free, dare I say, and a pick called.
Suspiciously picked. Back in the hands of Pauline Lamboles. She engages Dmitriy and gets herself back in the stack. And a warm-up disc makes its way onto the field. Ubron, Frétinier still not in. Teasing with that goal line. Looks for the break. No. Central. No. Doesn't like that one either. Dmitriy gives an open option, then goes on the break side. Two players there. Cantu robs San Marco and then falls in her lap. And PUC take the go-ahead goal.
Dmitriy working extremely hard for his team in that point. Really providing an outlet, getting the break, getting those long sweeping passes, keeping the disc moving. Really essential movement for that successful point there for the Parisians. So I make that to be 7-6 for PUC.
Game of runs here. A little exchange at the start, and then 5 in a row for PUC, then 5 in a row for Disconnection until PUC have put another 2 in a row in now. So we'll see how long they can extend this run of points. See how long they can keep their D on the field. They're 1 ahead now, but they're not just trading 1 for 1 lately. They're trading a bunch for a bunch.
And now it's really just going to be a matter of who's going to time their runs better.
75 just about minutes into this game. Here's the throw, as they call it, a pull even. Torrieri sends it, and Turk fields it and gets it to Haag. He winds up, all sorts of curve on that. Time for the defense, but Roman cannot get around the bigger man
Whoa, he
comes down with
gets
the
up
disc.
big and claims a body on the end zone line. That's why they open up with that split stack. Opens up the space in the middle of the field to allow the room and the space for that big throw to go up. As the saying goes, you have to feed your big man, and he ate up the defense there. Really putting that one in there. After the slog of points we've had, it feels great for one to go in so quickly. What a point.
Shields eventually gets her hands in on the disc for the goal after the big skying play. Disconnection answers the bell. This would normally be a Galaxy point in front of us situation. 7-7 non-Galaxy point. How often do we see that? It could almost be a 7-7 universe with the amount of time we got left, but it won't. That won't be the case.
My apologies, Steph. I'm still lost in the sauce from that last towering play. I'm just thinking that's a big boy indeed. I wouldn't want to be stuck in a battle against him.
No, that's not one I'm taking either. The air battles I'll leave to the timber and the taller bodies. And bearing down on that throw. Then Shu sends it. But the defense, no buts about it. That one into the hands of the oncoming receiver, centered on the doorstep. Resets to Shu, the one who originally sent this huck. Herman with the disc. Herman to Crapin. Crapin still not in. Looking, waiting. Here comes the dump opening from Herman back to Crapin, but not to Crapin. The overthrow. And Disconnection got to go the other way.
The action coming in thick and fast here in Bologna. Disc goes up again. It's going to be another battle. She's streaking deep. Plenty of time. Runs underneath it. Waits for backup.
Defense. The ensuing cut went straight to the dump space, and nobody went upfield. And everybody was laterally cutting around, and the right option wasn't presented, and the right throw wasn't abled. And Crapin with the disc now for PUC to go the other way. And he gives him one back. So now here's that short field. Here's the way we've been seeing the scoring. Will we again? He's gone. He had eye contact. He had the right throw or right weighted, but over the wrong shoulder and bobbled to the ground.
Perhaps a bit of fatigue setting in there. Technique, execution starting to slip. They made the eye connection. He saw the space, led her towards it. She had fingers on it, just wasn't able to grasp it.
Got some Wall City gents doing some impressive push-up tricks on the sideline here. Push-up to double back clap. But that is the less important part of the show here. Crapin with the disc. Gets it forward and gets it again. A off-player defense, a zone defense in front of PUC, what they had been showing successfully in the early part of the game. They're getting a taste of their own medicine, so to speak. Pouponneau with the disc. Dumps to Herman. Fakes the around back to Pouponneau. He gets up line to Michael. Oh, and right in the chops there over a shoulder. And popped again to Pouponneau, some risky passing. Tejada was open, but the throw lane covered up. Crapin directing traffic into the red zone. Michael with the disc. Tejada looked back to Herman, but squeezes it forward to Michael. Crapin in the red zone, 7-10 away. Give and go. Crapin gets it back. He wants every other right now. Fakes the scoop. Gives the dump. Herman. Tejada. Far sideline. Pouponneau. Second fake scuba in the sequence. Crapin. Third fake scuba in the sequence. Tejada. Crapin, it popped up and knocked away. And one too many fake scubers, and that one goes to turf.
What a point that was. I thought that for sure was going to end up in a goal. Particularly a fan of Michael's movement as the disc gets sent up the line and Disconnection give it back up into a pile of bodies. PUC once again in the red zone.
Crapin's disc now to Tejada. Tejada with the disc. Back to Herman. Chou looking at the end zone again. Another short field. Crapin to Michael. Michael pops up to Crapin. Now Herman too low and offer hand macked away. Disconnection, space upfield, not able to get the throw there. Too many defensive bodies in front. Now they get the upfield gainer. Carson, he's gone deep for goal. Carson's gone deep for a completion, but not yet a goal on the doorstep. Kema dumps back. Carson and straight into the defense, and they've gone back again and again. Another turnover, and PUC take the timeout, T.
What defensive positioning there. Right place, right time to get a paw on that disc to save what would have otherwise been a goal. And the timeout taken to recenter themselves. If you were the coach or the captain of PUC right now with the disc on their own end zone, got the entire pitch length to travel, what would you be saying to your team right now?
Let's send one person deep and huck it on stall one. No, I wouldn't be saying that, not one single bit. But that's what they might be saying. I suspect they are going to drop a play to try and get the centering throw. I don't know if they're gonna force anything too far upfield. They've got their points have been coming from all over the map, shared distribution in this low-scoring game. I don't know if they need to do too much difference. It's right now like drawing up a play with a full field on a windy day. Like I think all I do is prepare to see the zone again. Let's just prepare to. We're gonna see that zone coming out of a static. Let's make sure we get the first throw and then get moving and prepare for that first.
I would also like to highlight number 53 for Disconnection, Mr. Arne Gross. The energy levels he's been putting out, both as a receiver, getting up big, but also the work he has been doing in the zone for Disconnection, really willing his team to some type of victory. And I just, you know, you love to see when players give an energy, give it all for the team. You like to see that type of stuff rewarded.
And rewards they need more. The rewards are coming, but the rewards at this end of the game count for more. We are 83 minutes in. This game will not see double digits on either team, either side of the scoreboard. Paris set up in a horizontal, and Disconnection set up around them.
Quite a shallow horizontal by the Parisians, usually used to try and set up the deep space, but we have a deep poach there.
Yeah, it's a deep poach, potentially a little bit of a zone setup here. They've got the, you know, your classic huck stop front, take away the throwing lanes in the center of the field, make sure you get a safety back. It plays a little bit like a zone at the back of the defense.
Nice crash in by number 3 earlier to stop the continuation of the flow.
Crapin, another fake scuba. Herman. Chou. Herman. Moving through the cup here. Possibly ready to transition. Chou has all her options taken away and then finally engages Crapin only and gets the option she's after. Pouponneau. Tejada gets it. Steady hand. Herman. Can't get the initial continuation, goes to Pouponneau. He looks off the cuts in front and goes around. Chou. She goes around quickly and gets a little bit of space on the far sideline. Back to Crapin. Crapin gives the scuba. There it is. Seen a few fakes. Now it comes out. Herman gets a forwarding pass to Pouponneau. Swiping flick into a pivot. Now to Chou. Chou to Crapin. Crapin fakes the scuba again. Pops to Pouponneau. Pouponneau to Chou. Nearing. Grappin. Hammer held on to Arnold into Pouponneau. A lot of throws here, a lot of completions towards this goal line, and Grappin finally taps the toes down for the go-ahead 8-7 in our 85th minute tee.
Yes, this Parisian outfit here, when working the short game, have really been able to do a lot of damage, often getting free with their first option, and if not first, most certainly the second option. These big hucks have been leading to turnovers, and just working it, slicing and dicing, chopping and passing has led to great success for them. And if I was a betting man at this very moment, if they continue to play like that, my euros would be on them.
And that is where T would put his euros. We've now got the support as well in the favor of Disconnection with, there's 3 Berlin teams here, 1 in each division. Disconnection in the mixed, and you see Wall City, the male compatriots, and Jinx, as they're up next on this field, the female compatriots of the city of Berlin, all on the sideline. So a little bit of sideline support coming Disconnection's way as well.
As we see the disc go up, Disconnection coming out once again in their split stack, and Diane with a bid coming in through, tries to get the run 3D, doesn't quite make it, and Disconnection retain possession.
And here they come, Turk with the disc, Haag back to Turk. Haag again with Cantu running into him, putting his face into the chest. Going to come back to Daniel Turk to bring it into play. And I will correct myself. There are German compatriots, but not city mates. Disconnection from Freiburg, not Berlin. Opposite side of the country, but like as far as like the whole global scope goes, they're pretty close.
What a move there to get free, up-blinded in power position. Sanders defended the wrong way. Diane again coming through, inches away. I'm sure he's reeling to get a disc. I can feel it from him.
Feeling it. 54 on the line, Lena Frey, and the turn comes. We were feeling it. We're not sure that was what we were feeling, but PUC aren't too dissatisfied with the way that felt out for him. Dmitriy comes under, Lamboles gets it in the guts, and a pick called on the play. Dmitriy comes under. Up, deep, hanging. Cantu's there. Cantu hangs on, gets both feet beyond the red.
What
and
a
PUC her up.
What a pass. What a perfect way to score a goal. My man Dmitriy there, I saw his energy, I felt it. When he got behind the disc, I could sense this guy wants to send it. This guy wants to win for his team. He was putting the effort in on defense, gets the turn, gets on offense and sticks it to the end zone. And what a great cut from the receiver there. Was in acres of separation and just walks it in for the goal.
$18 for PUC, for Paris, having a great game. Kazimierczak, as it's pronounced. Thanks for the help. Kazimierczak. Thanks for the help from the commenters. That you're absolutely right. That is a difficult name to pronounce, but we're getting it right, and we love your help. We try and engage with what you're telling us as frequently as we can, while keeping our keenest eye on the rosters and the fields. Great pull coming out of Marine Roland. Lands in towards the deep corner. Upwind pull. Disconnection. Pauline Lamboles can't put the body out for that one. Now big one, winds up, out of bounds, but it's coming back in. into the hands of the awaiting receiver. That is Emily Shields for the goal.
Number 53, Arda Gross, wiping his brow there. That was risky business. I heard the finger touch of the defense, of the force on that disc, but a fingertip not enough as the flight part still took it into the receiver. They called it a game of inches, and that was just an inch not far enough.
Inch perfect. And Disconnection, bring it back within 1.
Inching closer to the finish line of this game. Still all to play for, hanging in the balance.
Rain is coming. We are monitoring the situation here. Pull sent by Grosch. Grappa. Kazimierczuk. Tejada. Kazimierczuk. Now I like saying it. Oh, it's smacked to the ground.
And a
but
call on the pitch. Number 70 saying they felt contact. Gonna have a discussion about it. The reenactments are occurring. Beautiful thing about our self-officiated sport, can be competing at the highest levels for my team to reach our objectives. It's diametrically opposed to your team, a proper conflict. We can still communicate through it without losing civility or respect.
Oh, stuffed through the middle there to Shu. Now to Fretinier and Shu playing a 2-player game. Grappin. Roma. Grappin. Defense looking away from the disc, checking their throwing lanes, but if they stay under and pop like that, it's going to be difficult to play both sides if your priority is to look behind. Kazimierczuk, Fretinier, Grappin, they're in the attacking half. Lots of throws, not a lot of space in this zone. Roman saw Tejada had space, but no lanes to get there. Roman again, Kazimierczuk. Tejada takes it confident with one hand on the move. Looks to go back the other way and dump straight back to Kazimierczuk. Quickly moved on. Shu and Fretinier playing together, far side of the field, and again back and forth. Now recentered, Kazimierczuk.
The French outfit moving with the timing of a finely tuned orchestra.
Shu, Kazimierczuk looks at Samathu, fakes the hammer. We'd love to see the finish from a hammer. Grappin takes Tejada wisely, wide open. She seeks another option, but he comes back and demands it. Grappin goes to Roman. Fretinier gets it in the middle, Roman. Now there's a little bit of space side to side, but they're clustering the lanes in the upfield looks. Grappin gets one, Kazimierczuk. Fretinier, feet away, meters. Kazimierczuk, oh, faked the scuba, but put it away. Takes the dump, Roman. Ooh, the swing was there, the defense ready to bite, but he holstered that one. Now through the middle, Fretinier goes to ground, picks it up with two hands for the goal.
And they punch it in. This French outfit looking slick when they're working together. They may be playing disconnection, but it's them with the connection with each other. The amount of passes in, out, fake, ooh, ah, PUC is looking fabulous, I tell you. What great offense. This is the elite frisbee that I pilgrimaged here to see, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having as fun a time as me, because I am on the edge of my seat seeing offense work as smoothly as that.
I don't know if anybody is having as much fun as you. That is, they're very animated. Great to see. They must be having as much. But Tatenda possibly having more fun than anyone in the vicinity. Loving the action, but they are putting it out there for us. Nice, patient, elite attack, as you said. PUC have now shown a little bit of mettle in this second half. Staying ahead by 2. The runs have now ceased. A little bit of back and forth again, and PUC just staying ahead here, staying on the high side of the balance.
What can I say? I just really love the short, quick give go. It just I feel it within my soul.
Soul-touching ultimate is what we're getting here from Disconnection and PUC. Ooh, that one popped out in front, held on to now. Shot deep, but shot to the floor. That one goes down. Dmitriy picks up straight the other way. San Marco there. Defense, she laser body on the line. Picks it up.
Kidding me?
Dmitriy again.
The athleticism on display here is off the charts.
Lamboles with the disc. Now gives it straight away right back to Disconnection. Shot deep, hangs, defense there, right through the offense. It's certainly a foul. Took his eyes off the disc and ran through his player. Let's see how they figure this one out.
That one to me seemed pretty cut and dry, but there is quite a lengthy conversation going on here, and the reenactments showing that he took his legs out from beneath him.
Man on coin. Coming out to assist with the conversation. 3 whistles. This conversation's getting long. 10-8. PUC up by 2.
As we see the taped up translator starting to back away, so it might be the time of discussion has come to an end.
That one going back the other way. Under the foot of Oliver Young, who sent that in the first place. And I said we wouldn't see double digits in this game earlier. We're at double digits, 10-8. Young, not shy to send it twice. He does. Company under. What a take by number 18, Torbenhag. Goes up and over and takes the goal for PUC.
Climbs the ladder and says, I got you once, I can get you again. This time, don't take me out. Maybe that's why there was the contested foul, because you had that one in the locker. First it was the flick, gets sent back. Oh, now it's the backhand. Goes up and just claims the space for his own.
Takes it away. Great second huck by Young. As you said, he tries the forehand. Didn't work because of downfield situations. Gives the backhand. And what a take. Peak of his leap and over top of the defense.
With a little fist bump, fist shake to say, take that one with you.
It ain't over yet.
It's a 10-9 game. Time has gone. I think it's game to 11 here. The way this game has been running, it's still all to play for.
All in the balance. PUC could theoretically put it away with an offensive hold. Grappin to Herman. Kazimierczak. Michael on the sideline was about to dish it in and wisely opted against it. Gets it to Frétinier instead, and now Grappin. Grappin faked the hammer. Now he's gone deep into the back corner, but company is there, and that company is very big. Glass of water, and knocks it away, does Gross.
Gross saying, no, not today. Getting up big and getting the block. He saw it all the way, and the towering stature of number 53 there, retaining possession for his team, saying we're down, but we are not out of this game just yet.
With a goal the other way, that one is well upfield. With a goal, it would present a universe point, but we are not there yet. They've given it back to PUC. Herman picks it up, and there's a conversation on the field.
I asked for universe point earlier, and one's possibly a brewing, Steph.
It may just happen. It may just happen. It would require a feat of defensive prowess by Connection or an error by PUC.
We have seen both in the game, so anything is possible.
Herman wondering how close they get to be with that disc traveled out of bounds for most of its flight. Herman with the disc. Getting even closer.
Squeaky bum time.
That one was never in because she's on the goal line. Grappin has space. Grappin gets the goal. And that is game. PUC take it away. 11-9 for the win in what was an up and down battle the whole way through.
Started as a slow burner, but as the clouds rolled in, the wave of French pressure finally won out the day. What a game.
PUC with the win, 11-9 over Disconnection. Mixed division, second round action here at Elite Invite, EUF Elite Invite in Bologna. We're going to let ourselves go to Tenda, Mombo, and Stefan Rapazzo, bringing you that one on Alti TV. Stay tuned. We'll be back for the last game of the day, 3SB versus Jinx. See you there.
Alti.tv